Hi guys, in this video we're going to talk about how to make this simplified version of the wheel. Really the idea is this. So I've already created the rims. I used, if you want to see it really, okay, I created that blue sketch, okay, sketch 1. I created that using the offset tool and some circles and some dimensioning. Very, very simple stuff. And then I extruded it a distance of 0.57 like it says to in the instructions. So now the next step is I need to create the front face, okay? So I'm really looking at this step right here. I need to create a face, and I'm going to extrude the blank area now, not the rim necessarily, but the blank area is what I need to extrude, which is interesting. And you'll also notice here that they tell you that you need to do a midway plane or something. They call it a mid-plane extrusion, okay, which means that, see this distance of 0.050, half of it's going to be sticking out of the shape and the other half's going to go into the shape, okay, so it's 0.025 either direction, which I don't think is a huge deal, but you know, that's what they ask us to do, and we need to be correct whenever we're making our stuff. So how do I do that? That's the question, right? So here's what I need to do. I need to create an extrusion, and notice that if I create an extrusion, it asks for a sketch, right? So okay, let's go through and let's create a 2D sketch first. Let's do it on this surface, right? And now as I look at that surface, the other thing I want to do is called project geometry. Not project, but project, which means bring geometry, shapes, edges, features from other pieces onto this sketch plane. So if I click on that, I can come down here and I can choose then this. Okay, that's going to be pretty important. Okay, I need those to tell me where the center of the circle is, because when I extrude, I need to make sure that I can get in and get this as part of the profile. So I click Finish Sketch. I don't need to draw anything on it. I already have the lines there. What that's going to allow me to do, though, is to extrude. And now, looky there, I can choose between. Now, let's go midway to midway plane, and it's 0.05, so let's get that in first, right? But the profile I want to choose is this, and I also want to choose that right there in the middle. Okay, so now it looks exactly like what we did here. See that? Okay, so I have it. Check. Done. The other interesting thing is, how do I make like the spokes? How do I make the cutouts here for this, right? How do I get these going, and how can I do it quickly and easily? Okay, I'll show you two ways. I'll show you the way that they say to do it in the instructions, and I'll show you a way that I think is better. Okay, so the first way that they explain, they say come through, create a new sketch right here on this guy. Okay, use the circle tool, and they say draw from right here, kind of bring it down, and the distance of that circle is 0.250. So actually it's 0.5. They dimension the radius of it. I remember doing that in the instructions. It's 0.5 is the diameter, 0.025 is the radius. So anyway, regardless, okay, I've got this circle feature. What I can do then is I can use the trim tool and get rid of the stuff on the outside. So I just click on it, it's gone, right? So now all I have left is the circle cut out on the inside. I'm going to hit escape. Okay, so what they want you to do is to use what's called the circular pattern tool. Okay, it's right here, circular pattern. Okay, the circular pattern allows me to take something that I have a feature and really just mirror it around a circular piece instead of just around a mirror plane like we did with that windshield. So if I click on it, it says, okay, first of all, what geometry do you want me to mirror? I want to mirror this thing, right? That's the circular pattern. And then it says, where's the axis? And the axis is what's the middle of your rotation point. That's the center of the circle here. How many times do you want it to be patterned? In this case, we have 5 of them. And so I click there, and it takes it, and it creates all 5 right there. This is what the instructions say to do, and I'll show you why I don't like it. Is because whenever I go to do extrusion, now, let's finish our sketch. When I go to click the extrude feature, and I click the profile, I can click this. I want to extrude it back into this. And I'm going to do a distance of all. I'm going to cut all the way through it. I'll click OK. And that's great, except now I have to go do the extrusion on every single one of these, right? So now I have to like go back into this sketch and figure out how to do that again. That didn't make sense to me. Okay, I could see how I'd like to be able to do an extrude cut, but there's got to be a quicker way. And unless I'm just missing it, maybe I am. Okay, but unless I'm just missing it, there's got to be an easier way to do all 5 of those extrusions at once. So here's what I would recommend. Okay, I'm going to undo. Don't ever use the undo button, kids. Okay, but what I'm going to do here is this. Instead of doing the circular pattern first, I'm going to finish the sketch. I'm going to extrude here. I'm going to cut back. I'm going to go to a distance of all, right? All the way through. Whoops. Well, cancel. Okay, let's try this again. Extrude this feature. Go back into the surface. I'm going to go all the way through it. Click OK, right? And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the circular pattern here. Okay, I'm not within the work plane, I'm in the 3D mode, right? See that with all the extrude tools and the other 3D stuff? I know that because it says 3D in the tab. If I do the circular pattern here, the feature I want to cut, I want that cut out, right? The rotation axis is going to be the center of my circle. I can just choose this. It understands that it's the center of that cylinder. Right? How about that? And now I need 5 of them, not 6. Okay? I click OK, and it does all the extrudes at once. So you just created a wheel. Well done. I would go up here, choose something else if you want to, a shiny surface. I have no idea what surface or what type of thing that they used for their instructions, but if you can find it, fantastic. If not, don't really care. It's already gray. It's going to do a fine job. Okay, we'll get into how to do the contours and stuff later on, but that's really advanced stuff. So this is going to be good. We're going to call this our wheel for now. Make sure you save it with your initials at the end, wheel, and then your initials.